The gist of the matter is that in our system of law and order, see their police.
Law and order? What are you talking about?
It's
Let
antagonism.
me finish. See the police around us over here. Are they doing anything to you right now?
They're scumbags.
When I come to my house,
They
they
stop and frisk 100,000.
Are they
100,000
doing?
We got 3 million people in prisons in this country. Do you not realize this? You're not grasping.
I got in my house and I get stopped at first. They stop people on the streets where I live.
Okay.
The more people in prisons, then Russia.
How many black people
Can I
have been
speak?
shot
Can I
this
speak
year?
now?
No, but I'm
Can I
answering
speak?
your question.
Okay.
These guys
Can
are a
I
bunch
speak?
of scumbag motherfuckers. Go.
Can I speak now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
You asked
Thank
the question,
you.
I answered it.
Thank
Go.
you. Okay. Now, 2 points. Point number 1, if you were in this country with a hammer and sickle, with, let's say,
But you'd be fine,
Nazi
he's a
logo,
communist.
or with American flag, or saying anything even remotely close
Yes.
against the system,
No.
and there were militiamen,
Yes.
that's what we're called militia
Nazis
in
deserve death.
USSR.
I'm sorry,
talking about the
Nazis deserve
USSR.
death.
You have
You're
been
a Nazi fighter.
taken away, you're been sent to Gulag, and no one would have ever heard from you
can say-
ever
I-
again.
I can
Point
respond.
1.
I can
No,
respond. Look.
First of all,
no,
they
give me
kill communists
point
all the
2.
time, right?
No, point 2.
They've done that
Let me
historically in the 60s.
you brought up
They murdered communists,
you,
right?
You brought up
Fred
you
Hampton,
brought up 3
Huey,
George Jackson.
How
You-
many people we have to go through?
Okay, hold on.
The Puerto Rican Independence
You-
Party.
Carter.
I've been to Russia twice. I've seen the Russian people.
And
They love the Soviet.
It doesn't matter. You know what the Germans in the 1930s, they loved Hitler. They loved Hitler.
Do they love Hitler now? No,
They-
they don't. But
The
in
Russians
Russia, they
seem
love
not to like
Stalin.
They loved Hitler. So now
Speaking on the gulags in
Yes.
relation,
Yes.
Russia in relationship to
Loves Hitler in Germany.
the gulags that we
Hold
have
on,
in
hold
this
on.
country,
Yes.
which are the jails and the prisons that
yes,
we have.
yes.
Take a comparison about how the political prisoners within the system and within the USSR and political prisoners are treated like within the US. Now, political prisoners who might have participated within, the movements like the Kronstadt Rebellion and whatnot, who had got caught and locked up, they would at least receive at most 2 years. But in this country, if you are a political prisoner and you rebel against the government in
you
this
go in
country,
solitude for life,
you get locked up for life.
Can I speak now, please? How about if you do it one at a time and have a
You're
dialogue?
talking to 4 people. Come on, and you have a camera. You know what
Yes.
you're doing. You know what your operative
No.
is here.
Well, call it whatever you want. See, this is my country, okay? This is the United States of
It's not
America.
your country.
I'm American citizen.
Yeah.
This is the best country in the world.
That's the best.
Now.
Why?
Now.
Why?
Now,
Keep
when
on
I
saying
when
that,
I
but
look
why?
at this,
This is the best country in the world. I'm sorry, it's gone.
well, see, I lived in both systems. You want to talk about the
Yeah,
three?
and I
you
come
wanna
from a
talk-
country.
you
I have a
wanna
country
talk-
where at the election. All right, let me say. My people come from a country where the actual political system was overthrown by the United States, right? Chile, and they put in a dictatorship. They installed a dictatorship that killed 30,000 people, right? So they did do that, right? So this whole talk about the greatest country in the world thing, I'm not sympathetic to, and I'm not sympathetic to your own personal experiences, quite honestly, because it's bullshit. It's like assholes. Everyone's got a personal experience
Really?
of their own.
Well, let's go by the numbers.
Yeah, let's
if
go
you
by
want to
the
go by the
numbers.
numbers,
Let's
you mentioned 5 people, whatever. They were so-called political prisoners in America.
It's still-
There's
okay,
much more.
100. Okay,
There's much more.
1,000.
There's much more.
2,000.
10,000. First of all.
10,000. How many political prisons are in
How
America?
many
you
people
think?
are in prison in the United States? How many people are in prison in the United States altogether?
If I
What country is
smack you right now, what's
No.
gonna happen to me?
Listen, my brother, you would never dream of doing that. First
But
of all, so don't even talk about it.
Hypothetically,
hypothetically.
if you smack, you smack me.
Yeah, you know
what's
what
gonna
happened?
What's
I would
gonna
not
happen?
call the police. I would kick the shit out of you, and then I would get more family to
Okay,
kick the shit out
if-
of you.
if
And
I
I
s-
wouldn't call the police. Now let me just point out one strong detail here, right? There's how many people in prison in the United States right now? How many?
If you steal,
Comparison to China, how
if
many?
you kill,
No, most of them are not
If-
there for that. Most of them are not there for that. They're there for
So-
the
Drug
drug
crime.
You know,
for drug
you-
crime.
Drug war. How about the drug war? Are you
non-violent-
forgetting?
okay, let's say
non-violent drug crime.
okay,
Why the
let's
5 people in
fine.
there for drug-
Okay, fine.
for drug-
I mean, there are the laws. If you wanted them to be free, change the laws; they'll be free.
What are you
This is-
talking about?
this is-
80% of people support
this
the
is-
legalization of marijuana and they stop it all the time because they're prosecuting an economic war against the oppressed people in Latin America and
I
the
heard,
African American
you know
community.
which word I heard, which stuck in my mind?
What?
Very interesting word. Law.
Yeah.
Law.
Yeah, a law, right?
Law.
Yeah, a law.
Okay.
A law
Now-
by a fucking ruling class that has a dictatorship over the actual process.
And it's horrible.
All right, fine. We're having this conversation.
That's your personal experience.
I live here. I just started first. Police arrest me. My family worked here all the time.
In USSR,
My country's a colony still.
and in USSR, there's no
What's
law.
Russia today? Putin. Under Putin. How many
There's
people are in
no-
prison? How many people are in prison under Putin?
Do you see?
How many people are in prison
Do
under
you
Putin?
see hammer?
Putin.
Do you
I'm asking
see
you a very basic
hammer
question.
and sickle? We're talking about
Oh, this guy's on the
hammer
Ron
and
Paul shit.
sickle.
Get him out of here.
Do you see?
I'm not.
Yeah, Ron Paul,
Do
you
you-
fucking racist animal.
All of you guys.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know
yes,
that you know
yeah,
that he
yeah,
got you know that he got $700 contribution for white supremacist groups, and you don't even give a fuck about that shit. Like you don't still promote his politics and whatnot. Like, fuck
Do you
outta here.
see?
This is extreme.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
live here. We hate
live
you, you
here.
motherfucker. You'll be in the fucking gulag here.
What do you think of that? That's extremely
For real, I don't
anti-Jewish.
give a
Did you
fuck
see
about
that
no goddamn
conspiracy?
gulag in the
Did you see
USSR.
that?
I'm in the gulag.
You're not gonna escape a police state. We live in a police state.
I want to talk one thing at a time. So there's no law in the Soviet Union.
First of all, that's not true. You know for
Meaning?
a fact they have laws in the
Meaning?
Soviet Union.
Meaning, if you read the Soviet Constitution,
Yes.
at the
Which
time,
one?
at the
It
time,
depends which
at
one
the
you're talking
time, when I lived,
At what time?
when I lived, will you let me finish?
I'm asking you what time.
At the
You're being
time
very specific.
when I lived in USSR.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
you
is-
will be
Yeah,
now.
this dude appeared on Fox News. He's a character.
That's fine.
Go
You know,
facts.
Like,
Yeah.
that just shows you where you're coming from.
So,
FAUX.
So I want to make it very clear to Fox News then. I hope that we get Bill O'Reilly in a gulag. What's the other
and,
picture?
and, and you
no,
call
that's
it,
MSNBC.
and you call it freedom of speech, right?
What? Oh,
so
no,
this
not
is
freedom
your
of speech.
definition.
I'm not a liberal. You see, you mistake something. You confuse a communist with a liberal. I'm your enemy. I'm directly your enemy. I understand this perfectly well. That's
Okay.
the whole point of a state system, is to control one's enemies. You are right now controlling your enemies, right? Through the prison industrial
State.
complex, which you put 3 million people into,
NGO
right? That you oppress and continually destroy African American communities, Latino communities. You continually destroy the Latin American countries where in a world capitalist system in which you do, wait, is it not true that the United States does do deals with the Chinese state, which is by far one of the worst states in the world, but has a capitalist world system that allows for its for its essentially sweatshop labor to be done in. The United States does all of that. So this greatest country of the world nonsense that you're putting out there and making people attempting making people believe is again a bunch of bollocks and no one believes it anymore. No one believes it. That's why you guys are scared at Fox News and everywhere. You're scared of socialist Muslim Obama. You're scared of actually what in reality you see here, which is the end. People like you and your cohorts going away, losing the power, losing what they have. Because how is it that a Russian immigrant from the USSR achieves his political rep and gets a little bit of employment from Fox News to go around saying anti-communist shit? Because you're a fucking puppet. Because you're a fucking puppet. That's the essence what is true.
Let's assume that you.
Let's not assume it is true. You are a puppet of Fox
I'm
News,
changing.
correct?
I'm changing the subject.